We're going to be continuing on our journey to prep for 2024 in this video by getting really clear on what our values are, what our life looks like right now, and how we're going to bridge the gap between now and the end of 2024 when we're hopefully a little closer to our dream life. So, like in the last video that I made in this series, we're going to be working through several different exercises to get a little bit more clear on what we want to make our goals. We're going to be looking at our values, looking at how we spend our time, rating different areas of our life and seeing how that aligns with our values. And I'm going to be writing down a whole huge list of goals and then narrowing that down a little bit based on the values that I want to have in my life. So that's kind of an overview of the exercises we're going to be working through today. And I don't want to waste y'all's time, so let's go ahead and dive into the first exercise. So our first exercise is going to be a values assessment, and this essentially requires you to look at a whole big long list of a bunch of different values like financial security, peace, health, adventure, creativity, a bunch of different values, and then narrowing that down to the values that are most important to you. And it's so important to take a look at what your values are when you're setting goals, because you want the things that you're spending your time and energy on to align with your values and the life that you want to have. So I'm going to be doing the personal values free online test. It's literally the first thing that comes up when you Google values assessment, and basically you just have to select 10 different values, and then the test helps you kind of narrow down what the most important values are to you. I will have the test linked down below if you also want to take it. I do think it's really, really helpful, but you can also just look up lists of values and narrow down with that. You don't have to take a test, but I do think that this will be a helpful way for me to get clear on what my values are. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the test, and I'll share my results in just a second. I have my top 5 values, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not surprised by any of these. My number 1 value is discipline, which is interesting that I'm filming this video and that I've been doing this series because it says disciplined people always have a goal in mind. So I'm a very, very goal-oriented person. This is not surprising to me at all. It also says be careful that you don't start demanding too much of yourself. It is possible at some point we set ourselves too high expectations. Yeah, I probably definitely do that, but moving on. Independence, I am honestly kind of shocked this is not my top value. One of my husband's complaints about me is that I tend to be a little bit too independent at times. I was single for 5 years before we dated, and I am so committed to just being self-reliant. Like, I don't like asking for help. It's one of my fatal flaws. So I understand why that's one of my top values. And then growth is next. I'm actually really happy about this because I always want to make sure that I have a growth mindset. I talked about this in a recent video, but just having a growth mindset and always striving for doing better and being better, hugely important to me. And the next is health, and I actually had a really hard time deciding between health and self-reliance because my biggest reason for focusing on health and wellness and going to the gym and strength training and having good cardiovascular health is literally because I do not want to have to rely on people when I am old and want to be able to be functional and have strong bones and keep myself sustained. So not surprised by that at all. I feel like this is very representational of the life that I have. I'll talk more about that later in the wheel assessment that we're gonna do as well, but health is super important to me, so makes sense. And then passion is next. So that's having a vocation or a hobby that you are passionate about and you care about. It literally says people with passion are very excited when their interests are discussed. They talk about them for hours. Hello YouTube, this is me talking about the things that I care about and I'm passionate about. The next step for this video is for me to sit down and come up with a whole list of goals, which I'm then going to narrow down and start to solidify what my 2024 goals are going to be. And when I start whittling that list of goals down, I'm going to take into consideration my values. The next portion of this video, we are going to be doing in a coffee shop so that I can just really have a creative flow going for these goals. I'm going to be writing down every single goal that I can think of in several different areas of my life, and then I will be narrowing those down to a top probably 5 goals. I read the book Third Door recently, and in that book he discussed the concept of writing down 20 of your goals and then picking the top 5. And any goal that you wrote down that is not in the top 5, so the other 15 are things that you need to actively avoid, so you can only focus on those 5 goals. So I'm going to kind of be doing that in this exercise. I might write down more than 20 goals though, in all honesty, but then we're gonna focus on the top 5. Let's pack up, let's go to a coffee shop. It's gonna be great. Back from the coffee shop, and I do have my 2024 goals all ready and written down, and I'm going to share them with you guys in just a second. But before I do, I did want to work through one more exercise with you because I think it's going to shed a little bit of light on why I specifically set a particular goal that I did. And this exercise is the Wheel of Life. And essentially the exercise is you rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10 in 8 different areas. And those are career, money, health, relationships, personal growth, fun and recreation, physical environment, and spirituality. And then from those ratings, you're able to build a circle of your life. And the goal is to have a relatively circular circle that doesn't kind of go up and down and up and down. I'll put a graphic of what I'm talking about so it makes a little bit more sense for you guys. But it essentially shows gaps in a well-balanced life. And I'll quickly go through and rate these so that you can kind of understand why I'm setting one of my goals. So for career, I'm gonna rate myself at about a 6 right now, moving in the right direction, but I'm not quite where I wanna be. Money, I'm gonna rate myself at a 4. We've talked about it, I need to make more money. Health, I'll rate myself at a 9. I feel like my health habits are really good and set. Relationships, I'm going to rate myself at a 4, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Personal growth, I'll rate myself at like a 6. I feel pretty good. Fun and recreation, like a 5. Physical environment, I put that at like an 8. And spirituality, I'll put myself at a 7 for spirituality. And when you look at my circle, I think that relationships really stands out to me as something that does not align with the values that I put up earlier, but is something that I need to live a balanced life. I've talked about this a lot in the past. You guys know that relationships is something that I really struggle with, but it's something that I know that I need in a well-balanced life. So that is why I did set a goal to build better relationships, but that doesn't necessarily align with my values of passion, of dedication, of health. You could say that the relationships do tie into health, but that's not in the way that I normally look at health. So that is why I did set that goal. And I do think that building a balanced life is just as important as building the life of your dreams. Especially if you're very goal-oriented, it can be hard to focus on those other areas of life, like your fun and recreation, which also I ranked kind of low on my circle, and like your relationships, because those are not like goal-focused, earning more money, building a better, stronger body. Like, those things do not come easily to those of us who are so goal focused. So that is why I'm setting goals in some of those areas. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and share my 2024 goals with you guys. Moving around to keep it interesting for you guys. But quickly going through these, I want to build a fitness routine focused on overall health and longevity. Y'all know that my fitness routine is really important to me. It's something that I have pretty solid right now, but I do want to focus a little bit more on my flexibility, mobility, and cardiovascular health. And then the next thing is to build a sustainable business of content creation. I have several different benchmarks that I would like to hit this year, including earning at least $3,000 per month by the end of the year, signing a 4-figure brand deal. I don't have any brand deals yet, but I know that I can at least get a 3-figure brand deal, so hoping for 4 by the end of the year. Grow my social channels too. I have specific numbers listed, but along those lines, I would like to develop an effective short form content strategy. And that isn't so much to grow my Instagram and my TikTok. Yes, that will help with that, but I just want to get more into short form videos because I know that that is something that the world is being geared towards, and I'm just not on the bandwagon, and it's something that I have been working towards for such a long time. So I know I need to focus on it. I've talked about it before, whatever, it's gonna be a focus. And then save $15,000 towards a house. This is largely going to be geared towards my earning potential with content creation. I will be also taking on some other work going into the new year just to supplement my content creation income. I would love to be able to buy a house in 2025, but I need to bring my income up in order for that to happen. And this is the one that doesn't necessarily align with my current values, but I need to work on it, is to build better relationships with people in my life. So I have a few specific goals under that. Some of them I'm going to keep private, but I will share that I do every single month want to spend time with or call a friend that I currently already have. I'm really bad about this, so we're trying to. And then to do something new with Brandon once a month. Because I just feel like Brandon and I's relationship is great, but we kind of do the same things over and over again. And I know that that is something that he has stressed to me, that he would like to find like new things for us to do together. So those are my goals. Again, I do need to build systems that are going to support those goals and routines that will support those goals. We'll be doing that in separate videos. I also am going to work through building like a complete Notion page and just set up in order to track those things and support those things throughout the year. So make sure you are subscribed if you would like to see that. I know I love a good Notion tour, so stick around, people. I was actually planning on doing another exercise with you guys based on how I spend my time and kind of breaking down the percentages that I am spending in certain areas of my life and seeing if that aligns with the life that I want. But I think I'm gonna do that in a separate video, just because I do think this video is already getting kind of long, though I'm probably cutting out a lot of the things that I've said because I am rambling way too much. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Hopefully it was helpful for you guys, and hopefully you guys had a good and happy Thanksgiving. Sorry if it was kind of all over the place. I think I'm like over caffeinated right now. I'm seriously doubting everything about this video, so hopefully it was helpful and you guys enjoyed it. If you do have any specific content that you would like to see from this channel moving into the new year, anything that you struggle with setting goals or building a fitness or health or following your passion projects type routine thing, let me know. I would love to make a video about anything that would actually be helpful for you guys, because I really want to help support you as you build your dream life alongside me as I do that as well. With all that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.